Hey guys, welcome to Gray, the podcast for those of us who are navigating this complicated world of military life alongside our partners. If you're looking for real conversations, genuine insights, and a community of seasoned mil spouses dedicated to supporting each other through every challenge, especially those WTF moments, and maybe even find a silver lining along the way, here we are. We're going to get real about the highs and lows of military life, share stories, and have candid conversations as we laugh our way through it all. This isn't just a podcast. It's a sanctuary where we can all find connection, strength, and the courage to be ourselves, no matter where the journey takes us. Grab your headphones and settle into our corner of the internet where you're not alone. Let's gather at Gray.
Hi, everyone. We thought it would be a good moment to pause and give an overview of why Tonya and I started Gray and what our thoughts were in naming it Gray. This week, next week, the many weeks following are riddled with deep thoughts and what ifs. And we want to be a space of support. So we want to take a step back and do a lot shorter episode to just put our hearts out there.
We just want you to allow us to reintroduce ourselves.
Allow us to reintroduce ourselves.
Our name is...
Hey!
No, really, you guys. We know that, on top of everything that's going on in the world, we're in November, and I don't know where you guys are, but we affectionately call it No School November. So the kids are in and out. There's holidays coming. The holidays can be beautiful and amazing, but also really stressful. And so just as we transition through this last little bit of the year and deal with a lot of really big feelings and a lot of really different fronts, we wanted to stop and tell you more about not just who we are, but why we are and what our intention is in holding this space and creating this space. So here we go. Courtney, why are we here? Wait, do we start with who we are or why?
I don't know.
Let's start with who.
Who we are as people?
Yeah, let's start with who we are as individuals.
Like, am I reading my bio?
Like a 3-sentence bio. Tell us top 3.
I am, hold on, let me think. I'm struggling on this one. So the biggest thing for me, who am I as a person? What led me to want to do something like this is I am an active duty Army spouse that never felt fully accepted in the space and expectations of military significant others and partners. And my husband is an officer, and that brings its own expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got to the point in the many, many years as an active duty spouse, still am currently, of accepting a lot of the required rules. And that paired with who I am as a human, who I am as a mom, both personally and professionally, I didn't see examples of myself in that. And I wanted to provide the space to show more examples like that, number one. And number two, provide a corner where people could get their frustrations out, where we could laugh about the absurdities that many of us experience on the day to day and talk through things like what does it mean in your life to exercise military readiness or resilience?
I relate to so much of what you said. My husband is, you guys know, a submariner because we somehow joke about that a lot, which feels on brand for being a submariner. But he's been in for 20 years, or over 20 years now. So we've been doing this Navy thing for a long time. And I say we because we were married before he joined the Navy. So it really was a decision that we made together. Um, and in the last 20 years, there were a lot of times where I did not feel as though I was truly a part of the community. And I know there's probably somebody listening right now that's like, "Oh my god, Tonya, what?" No, really, you guys. A, I'm a really good at fake it till you make it. Um, but B, like Courtney said, I looked around the space and I didn't see other people that looked like me. I didn't see other people who were open and goofy and silly like me. I felt like I needed to have my pearls and heels, and I am not a pearls and heels girl. I mean, I do have one pair of really great black pearls, but in general, that's not who I am, right? I am the person that is going to A, say it like it is. It's probably going to have an F bomb in there somewhere, and I'm sorry, but also I'm not. Um, and I am going to always be looking around the perimeter of the room to see who is not included because
Mm.
I think that's so important, right? And that is where this community comes in is who are we not including in the conversations? Who are we not representing? What resources exist but aren't getting the highlight or the spotlight? Or maybe they are, but like they're not reaching across branches, they're not reaching across communities. And so, how do we bring power to that and empower that? And that is why um, this space is so important to me and for me.
And we had many discussions about what we wanted to call it. And we've had quite a few questions actually around why gray.
Yeah. And that I'm laughing, you guys, because it's like, oh my God, there's so many reasons. I think for me, whenever it is a reference to a song that we may or may not be able to mention.
Yeah.
I think we can mention it. We tried to get rights to share it with you guys, and so far, no success. So, Dave Matthews Band, if you happen to be listening, we would love to be able to give you full credit for Gray Street and our origin story. But there's a comes a time in life, and Courtney, I think you and I were both there, where we're so busy in being a wife, a mom, a partner, a professional, that it feels as though we've lost ourselves in doing the things. And it's just this blur, this gray space of everything happening and not feeling as though there's that level of engagement and nourishment of self that's needed, really. Um, and so that's how we came to gray. It's where we're transitioning and changing, and what does that look like?
A poignant thing that we said is that when you're in the midst of it all, you're not drowning, but you're not thriving.
Mhm.
You're in the in between space where there are moments where you feel you could fade into the corner. You could fade into the abyss with all of the asks and needs and other things. And we also knew there needed to be empowerment moments and affirmations that allowed you to be celebrated, number one, allowed
Mhm.
you to reach goals and celebrate goals, and know that we want we want to be supporters with our pom poms out of women. We want to be supporters of women of all shapes,
Mhm.
sizes, colors.
Mhm.
It's very important to us, and was a lot of the onus in creating this space. And we are ecstatic just in the little time that it has been available, the interactions with all of you. It has been incredible. We hear you and we see you, and we can't wait to have more warriors, I want to call them, speak on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah, I think that's really the heart of it, right? That community building and that pouring into one another, that seeing one another, um, and that acknowledgement of even while as military significant others, we are doing really hard things, and from the outside sometimes making them look really easy, acknowledging the work and intentionality and everything that goes into that, and empowering people to continue to do that, and to continue to feel valued and seen in that. I think that, oh my gosh, we are both women of a certain age. Um, I'm not gonna say we're old, but like, in the military world, we're a little bit seasoned sometimes. Um, but
In the military world, we are old, Tanya. We are.
I'm not old. I'm just not young. Um, it's fine. Fine. But what we do recognize is that when we talk about these life transitions and we talk about like this gray space, there is not an age limit on it. There is not a lifestyle that we all experience that, right? We all experience those changes. And so we want Gather at Gray to be a place where we literally, well, not literally, but figuratively, internetingly gather
Purposefully.
purposefully come together and share these experiences and share these moments and share that connection that allows us to go out and continue to do the good and continue to be the good, um, in this world and in this space.
I remember one time just a couple years ago, I was at a military event, and one of the general's wives came up to me and she said, "What I can tell you're active duty. What rank is your husband?" And I told her, and her response was, "Oh, that was the last time people talked to me." And I'll never
Oh,
forget that. She said, "That's the last time people talked to me." I said, "Excuse me?" She's like, people get to a place in different areas and different circles where I think the perception is you have it together, you have your circle, you have all of these things. And I think it was a realization for me, a really intense realization, honestly, because both Tanya and I are gatherers of people. We love people.
mm-hmm,
We love to interact with them. We love to have fun with them. We love to celebrate them. And this was a moment where I was like, oh, I never thought about any of that. I never thought, oh, you would be siloed because X, Y,
yeah,
and Z. And from that moment, it was many years ago, probably 5, 6 years ago. It was from that moment that I became extremely and much more intentional when I was in rooms with fellow military significant others, that I would always speak to every single one of them if I could,
mm-hmm,
that I would go out of my way to eat, even if it was a moment of just, this is who I am, this is my name,
mm-hmm,
good to see you, good to
yeah,
be seen kind of thing. And something as small as that is the intentionality we're talking about,
yes. The
being
fact
seen.
And the fact that we are not our significant others, right? Like, I think that, one of the things that if you have interacted with me in real life and you've asked me what my spouse does, my standard answer is, I don't know, probably not much. And I don't mean that as a disrespect to him. He does a
Right.
lot, you guys. What I mean is we are meeting, we are interacting, and I want to get to know you. And I don't care who your spouse is or what they do, because we each have so much value in ourselves and who we are as individuals, that unlike in Deers, we're not just a line and the add-on to the service member. We are so powerful in our own right, and really allowing us to shine in that, um, is so important to Courtney, you and I both, right? To
Yes.
allow people to have that strength and that sense of self. Um, so yeah, that who is Gather at Gray? Why is Gather at Gray? It is two individuals who have lived this military life for a cumulative over 35 years, who understand the power and strength of one person seeing another and wanting to see each and every one of you.
We also want to talk about topics and provide resources that are needed, that
Mhm.
are needs of the community that we may see one need as a priority that you don't see as a priority in the space of
Mhm.
gray. And we want to ensure what we're doing is practical, effective, and needed. We don't want to come on here and listen to ourselves just for the sake of it. I mean, it's fun and we're funny, but that's not the point.
We're very entertaining, but we
We're
wanna make sure we're
hilarious.
bringing value to you as well.
One day we'll do one with videos so all of you can see how ridiculous our reactions are to everything. But we want, when we ask for feedback, when we ask for input, we truly want it. It isn't
Mhm.
an engagement protocol. We are wanting to hear from you. We are wanting to see you. We are wanting to know more of this
Mhm.
space. We are fortunate in that both of us have worked in the veteran service space and military spouse space, as well as served in those spaces. And so our breadth of knowledge is pretty wide, but we are learning new things every day as well. And we want
Mhm.
to ensure that we're promoting those and providing ongoing resources for you as a community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, when we ask you guys what you wanna hear, please tell us. When we say like, share, follow, please do it because we wanna make sure that we're reaching out beyond our own networks, beyond our own circle of influence, and really getting to those who are sitting on the perimeters who are like, "Man, I wish I knew more about I wish I had a space where, like, they're gonna laugh at the ridiculous." We wanna gather everyone here with us. So, on that note, we're gonna keep it brief. We love you guys. We promise to talk more next time. It'll be a longer session. Um, but really grateful to get to really truly introduce ourselves and we look forward to getting to know you guys as well. See you till the next time we gather at Gray.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to continuing to provide a space to get real about both the challenges and the beautiful moments of living this military life. We hope you find support and, of course, some laughs. Remember to follow us on the socials and don't be afraid to join the conversation. Until next time, this is Gray.